What's going on, everybody? It is what is it, 7th, Monday, and I want to get into some tour dates before I start the show. This Thursday night, July 10th, I will be in Anchorage, Alaska. And then in August, let's see, I'll be in Sacramento at the Punchline, August 14, 15, 16, and 17. Sacramento, looking forward to getting back there. And then 22 and 23 of August, I'll be in Springfield, Missouri. Return to the Blue Room, great comedy club. So is the Punchline, of course. And then there's going to be Vegas at the Cellar. There's Reno at the Laugh Factory. There's Minneapolis at Acme. All kinds of great tour dates coming up for the rest of the year. Go to DeanDelray.com and get those tickets. Also, while you're there, check out my special 5836. It is live on YouTube right now and is absolutely free. Go on, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. It really helps. And also, Let the Be Talk is a brand new clips channel. Subscribe to that. We're going to be having all kinds of amazing clips from the last 13 years of the show. That's Let the Be Talk Clips. That's the channel. Welcome to the show. It's Monday. And I've been kind of gearing up to get the energy up to dive into what was one of the most insane weekends in music in years that has happened. And I'm talking about the Friday night in Cardiff with Oasis, first time back together in 16 years, which is crazy monumental. I'll get into that in a minute. And then, of course, the next day, the farewell back to where it began, Black Sabbath in Birmingham. And man, that was a day. Really, really an incredible weekend for people playing instruments and the internet seeing that. Like it was so great to see just stadiums full of people enjoying one band that was coming back after a long breakup and a celebration of another band who is basically responsible pretty much for metal, and that being Black Sabbath and Ozzy. I don't even really know where to start, but I will start with Oasis. Now, I have always loved Oasis. I love the whole Mach 2 of the British invasion. You had the early, Beatles and Kinks and all of that, the Stones, the Who, and then sometime around the 90s, here comes the Verve and Oasis and all of this new, British invasion. I immediately fell in love with Oasis and probably more even of the Verve, just because I thought Richard Ashcroft was just an unbelievable singer, songwriter, and rock star. I love Oasis just as much, but once the Verve broke up and Richard Ashcroft went solo, I love his solo stuff more than either of the brothers from Oasis, their solo stuff, which was good, but it was never the fire of Oasis. Where with Ashcroft, man, some of his solo stuff I like better than the Verve. So, what better bill than Richard Ashcroft and Oasis? I mean, talk about the ultimate dream ticket. Not only did you think the band was never going to get back together, and there was massive bets, I believe, in Vegas that the brothers wouldn't even make it to the first gig, and they have proved everybody wrong. And I believe it's over 200 million on the table. They are going to see this all the way through. You could tell there was a pretty damn cool bond when they walked out. I've seen a lot of bands get back together over the years, and you can tell they hate each other. They don't go near each other. They're in separate buses and all that, separate whatever, travel. But the way they walked out with their arms up in the air and at the end, that hug, that was pretty damn cool. Say what you will, they did it for their mom or did they do it for they're broke after a bunch of divorces? I don't think they're broke. Liam literally played stadiums for the last 10 years, and Noel wrote all the tunes for Oasis. So I don't see any money problems, but I will tell you this, they did it the right way. They broke up and they went away for a long time. And they really trashed each other for years in the press. And the UK and all of the rest of the globe, other than the US, really followed that. And here in the US, they needed to kind of go away because you know how the US has that old we like hits and then they're done with you. Uh, AKA Kings of Leon or U2 or any of these bands that had big, big, big records. Wallflowers, I always talk about them. Black Crowes' first record. Of course, they're not as big as Oasis, but what I'm saying is people really love a band and then they just discard it and move on. And those are the fair weather fans that a lot of the US music market is geared around. So for them to go away big time, like, some of the last times I saw them, I mean, they played House of Blues on, I believe, the last tour 16 years ago in Vegas. And I saw them at Santa Barbara Bowl. I saw them open for U2. I saw them at the Bill Grant Civic. I saw U2 a lot of times, or sorry, Oasis a lot of times, and they were always great. And one of the reasons they're so great, and the reason people are going crazy now, all these years later, is the songwriting. And the songwriting is mind boggling. As I looked at that band walk on stage and kick in, and the people went crazy. And, it's just like amazing song after song after song. Not all of them are hits, but they're all incredible, incredible, you know, classic, perfect songwriting. Jangly guitar with the super hook, and the two brothers looked great right now. Neither of them are fucking blobs. They both have hair, and that was a big part of their thing was their look. They always dressed amazing. Definitely a different type of rock star. A lot of Stone Island on the early Liam look. Um, Burberry, all the cool like high fashion, a totally different look, almost uh, soccer wealth, which is football over there, football wealth. Yeah, you got a lot of cool sweatsuits and hats and shoes. They looked great. They sounded great. The band kicked ass. And first gig, wow. I'm sure they walked off and went, "Whoa, man, we fucked up a few things," but I watched it all the way through, and it was electric, and it has fired me up to see him at the Rose Bowl in September. I'm really I really can't wait to see that actually. And it was so amazing to just see people going crazy over rock and roll. And they played the next night, of course, but I think for me, looking at the Ozzy Black Sabbath farewell and the Oasis thing, it was really kind of tough to watch them back to back because Oasis was such a celebration of back and holy shit, the brothers are doing it. Neither are dead from drug overdoses. They sound amazing. This is insane. To the next day, really, really, a great celebration, but really sad because you're like, this is it. This is the end of Black Sabbath for real. I've been tricked by him before. I went to the first farewell with Bill Ward back, I forget what that was, at the Sharks Arena. And then I went to the end, which was, I don't know, 5 years ago or something, Hollywood Bowl. But this time it really is going to be the end. I think it will be the end until I mean, you know, as awful as this sounds, Ozzy, if he passes away and the other guys are still alive and they do like a super Ozzy tribute, I'm sure that'll happen just because there's just so much respect for those four guys and Ozzy and the insanity of really what they created. And you know, when I first looked at the lineup, I was like, well, how the hell are they going to do that? Is there like two stages? Is it going to be 2 days? What's going on? It was all one day. It was all geared around a revolving stage, 7-minute changeovers, and insane amount of performers. Holy smokes. I watched it all. There was a bunch of course, bummer things on the stream because that's going to happen when you got that many people watching a stream and it's going to crash. You got sound guys that are trying to find the vocal real quick or the lead guitar as the band starts up. There was a band on 8 minutes before that with a different sound man. Every band has their own sound man. They're getting up there. Okay, ready? Here we go. Oh, fuck. Where the fuck's the kick drum? You know? That's going to happen. But that's part of metal and that's part of the adrenaline of it. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. Look at this. Look, you know? So I'm going to go through what I thought was insane to me. And first of all, everybody knows I love Rival Sons. And they came out, and man, you see Rival Sons. They went on very early and they just scorched the fucking place. Sharon personally selected them to do the entire end tour a few years ago for Sabbath. So there they are, asked again to do it. And they just come out and fucking deliver. They've been on a GNR stadium tour, opening that. And then they dropped into this. And now they're finishing Europe, headlining all kinds of theaters. And like I said this over and over and over, one day this band is going to break here in America. I feel it. They're just too scorching. Out of all of those, they're bringing rock back type of bands. No one can hold these guys as fucking, as they would say back in the football. No one can hold their jock. You know, it's just insane how good they are. They open with Do the Worst, and then they do Electric Funeral, and Jay Buchanan just disintegrates the vocal with just incredible power. And then Secret, one of my favorite songs, massively catchy, quick 3-song set. And then boom, here comes Anthrax, Indians Into the Void. Anthrax, Scott Ian being a very big part of the day and being part of all the super band stuff. Scott Ian being a friend of mine, I know he was in fucking heaven out there being able to play and be amongst all that. As a matter of fact, I had talked to Scott and he had a hotel room for me if I was going to go because the hotel rooms were so hard to get. But I still have no regrets that I didn't go because, you know, watching it was amazing at home, but also watching all the bands. I've seen all these bands and I've said it over and over and over. I'm good. I'm good on seeing these band, Metallica, obviously, one of my top favorite bands of all time. Slayer, same thing. I went to the Slayer supposed last show, LA Forum. I'm good. That'll be the last time I see them because that was so powerful and it was supposed to be the last show. And it really still means a lot to me how much they scorched that LA Forum. And, you know, Alice in Chains, great friends of mine, seen them a lot of times. And Tool, just saw him. Tool, unbelievable. I'd see Tool no matter what, anytime. And then Guns N' Roses, Metallica, Ozzy, Sabbath. So all of these, if I looked at all of these people, I've probably seen each band on the low end 3 times. On the high end, 10 times. Metallica, easily 30 times. Um, Ozzy, numerous times. It was funny because this show was on the 5th, and 44 years ago today, I was seeing Ozzy on the first run of the Blizzard band at Dan the Green. It was 415, Eric Martin's band. And then at 10:50 in the morning, Ozzy came out and played the Blizzard record with a couple songs from Diary that were going to be coming out pretty soon. And then it was Pat Travers. Oh no, Loverboy, Pat Travers, Blue Oyster Cult, Heart. Heart on the big, big, big record. So it was wild to think about. 44 years ago is the first time I saw Ozzy Osbourne, Randy Rhoads, Tommy Aldridge, Rudy Sarzo. And here I was on the 5th of July watching the farewell. Really, really wild to think about. And I sat there and thought about how powerful Ozzy was at 10:50 in the morning in 1981 um, in Oakland Coliseum, coming out with Randy fucking Rhoads and just scorching the place and delivering 2 records back to back, Blizzard into Diary of a Madman. Both those I like better than Sabbath. And I've obviously said it for years and years. I love the Dio era of Sabbath. I love the solo Ozzy. Now, look, I love Black Sabbath, obviously, but I've heard it so much over my life that these other records really just light my head on fire, especially Diary of a Madman. I still think to this day it's one of the greatest metal records ever done. The sound of it, the songwriting, the guitar playing, the cover, the tour, everything about it. So it was wild to think about. This was the farewell. And it's definitely the farewell. If you watch the footage, you know it's the farewell. There's Bill Ward. Of course, you get all the comments. Bill Ward should have done that end tour. And I'll say this over and over and over. I had seen Bill Ward around that time, and he was, from my eyes, not very healthy. He was in a wheelchair. He was not playing drums, and he really hasn't played drums much in a long, long time. And, you know, 4 songs in a festival, that doesn't mean anything compared to traveling and doing like 100 shows on a full tour. So anyway, we got this. We got it where they started in Birmingham. We had a beautiful, beautiful celebration by all the bands, each band playing a couple covers of Sabbath, putting their own spin on it. And over the years, all these bands have really kind of covered Sabbath here or there on a record or live or at some kind of rip party or whatever. And all of these bands have Sabbath in their veins. So it was beautiful to see. A lot of people are dying for the gossip from Sharon Osbourne of who was kicked off the show because they wanted to get paid. And I don't give a shit about that stuff. Oh, give me the dirt. It's always some kind of fucking dirt around, metal. And it's like, I'm looking at all those people and I'm seeing the people that are still alive and have survived. And it's like, let's just stick with that. Let's skip the drama, and let's just stick with the full on celebration. Anthrax played, like I said. Up next, I'll tell you what. Up next, I can't remember if this is the proper order. It looks like it is because I'm going off set list. Um, so you had Lamb of God. No, no, sorry. Anthrax, then Hailstorm. I will tell you this right now. I am not a Hailstorm person at all. Not even for a second. And I am not slagging them or trashing them or anything. It just does zero for me. And that's just just the truth. Lamb of God. I know the guys. I see them around the comedy store quite a bit. I've listened to some Lamb of God, but another band that I don't pretend to be like, oh, Lamb of God. I just some bands don't grab you, and it's okay. It's okay. I was a band I fucking love more than anything that played Saturday night in Los Angeles called Tropical Fuckstorm. I've been shouting them out for the last 5 years, and I can't seem to get anybody to get on board with one of the greatest bands in years. They're from Australia, and they played Saturday night here in Los Angeles. So, look, just because you like metal doesn't mean you like all metal. I know people that don't understand Gojira. I think they're fucking incredible. And some people don't like extreme metal. Some people don't like Satan metal. Some people like super, super dirgy metal. Some people like nerdy metal, Tool and that kind of abstract metal. There's all kinds of different metal, you know. I remember Eddie Trunk was talk. I saw Eddie Trunk at that Power Trip, and I go, dude, if fucking Tool's on. I'm headed out there, man. I got to see Tool. And he's like, yeah, you like Tool? And I go, fuck yeah. Tool is one of the greatest bands of all time. And he's like, it never really grabbed me. So, there's different strokes for different folks. But that's, Hailstorm and Lamb of God. I feel like that's like a later era of metal, of the Ozfest type of stuff. Super Group One came on. Tom Morello had put together and kind of curated the super groups for the entire thing, which, by the way, his son and Scotty Ian's son and Jack Black and somebody else on drums did Mr. Crowley video, and they emulated that original four-song, PBS, like, Texas TV channel, whatever studio shoot, that old rare footage of Randy and Ozzy. And holy shit, Tom Morello's son just destroyed those Randy Rhoads licks, and Scott Ian's kid can play anything. He played bass, but he can play drums, bass. He sings. He plays guitar. That guy's a superstar, and he has his own band also. And then Jack Black just killing it. Perfect, Mr. Crowley. Wore the blue outfit like Ozzy had on. So they showed that. Anyway, Morello put together. And look, this might be kind of redundant because you probably watched it all and went, yeah, we saw it all. But I'm just giving you the recap of what my thoughts were. First of all, Ultimate Sin, Jakey Lee, the big, big, big hype. I was with Jakey Lee a couple months ago in Vegas, and I was completely fired up to see Jakey Lee play. Now, the lineup that he played with, I was a little disappointed because, man, I wanted to see him with Ozzy. I wanted to see him play the Ultimate Sin and Shot in the Dark with Ozzy one last time. You know, I wanted to see him right next to him, just busting out Ultimate Sin. Jakey, he had the Lizzie Hale on vocals for the Ultimate Sin, and then he had the David Draymond for Shot in the Dark. There was all this talk that David Draymond got booed. I didn't hear any of that. I guess he signed some fucking bombs or something. I don't follow, uh, you know, gossip or metal or bad fucking, bad vibes. I don't follow it. I don't know first of all, I don't listen to Disturb. So I really wanted to see Jakey bottom line with Ozzy. But I'm 100% just happy that Jake was there after, surviving getting shot, years of arthritis, and his Red Tail Dragon band. I went and saw him at the Whiskey. They were just phenomenal, like, I don't know, 6 years ago. And the guy is just, I just love Jakey Lee. I love that human. He is a great, great man. And I've become really good friends with him. And I saw Jakey on the Bark at the Moon tour, and he's just a fucking star. I saw him at the US Festival, destroy in front of 1 million people. The guy can play the shit out of the guitar, and I hope his hands get better and better. He's been working with a lady to retrain how he plays, and it'd be great to get him back on stage. Anyway, Ultimate Sin, Shot in the Dark. Then it was Sweet Leaf, and Nuno Betancourt. I want to give this guy a shout out right now. Nuno Betancourt played in Extreme, and I often wonder if he was in another band, would he be bigger and more respected? You want to talk about underrated? Of course, the average person knows more than words, and that's all they know by Extreme. But let me tell you something, man. This guy, I seen him play some Fair Warning stuff, Van Halen Fair Warning. He was playing the Randy Rhoads shit. Not only does he look like a fucking 10, you know, the guy's got hair still. He's in perfect shape. He's got great tone. This guy was destroying the supergroup stuff. Unbelievable how great he was. Unreal, man. I mean, people, I was thinking about like what band could he get in right now? Um, where it would be like, oh my God, here we go. Now we're gonna really get to see this guy shine on another level. I really don't know. Oh, which by the way, this just came to my mind, and I'm gonna come back real quick here, but Matt Cameron has left Pearl Jam. And the only reason I'm thinking about this right now was I was thinking about what kind of super group, super groups never work because the songwriting's trash. But what kind of super group could Nuno play in? But anyway, Matt Cameron, after what, 27 years or something, has left Pearl Jam. Now, I do not know why, because it was just the announcement. I'm sure he's probably just over touring, and you're a drummer and you're just like, you know what, I want to stay home now. I don't know. But anyway, oh my God, Matt Cameron, one of the top 10 drummers of all time. Just go listen to Wooden Jesus on the Temple of the Dog record, or Gun on the Louder Than Love Soundgarden record, and listen to a drum god. Anyway, back to Nuno and the supergroups. Next up was Believer. Now, I am not a fan of trashing people. I don't like to do it because it kind of sends some negative energy out there, but I don't know if it was the mix. I feel like a lot of people were trashing different people on this, and I feel like it was probably the mix on these TV broadcasts because they just didn't have enough time, man. When you're shooting something live for TV, you usually do sound checks for a couple days. You do test shoots. You'll listen to the audio. You got one sound man, and he's, that band's sound man, and you're going to do it. But when you, like I said, when every 7 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes a band's on, and the new sound man's up there. But I will tell you, this version of Believer. This guy played drums on it. His name is Two. And hold on, I wrote what band he's in because let's see where here it is right here. Sorry guys, I just want to get this. Two. He's in a band. and I'm pretty fucking up on music. Okay. Obviously. I mean, I talk about it every fucking day. Music and comedy is all I think about. But what band is this guy in? Where the fuck? I wrote it down. To uh shit, I can't find it. God damn it. People right now are going, it's blah blah blah. But I know I fucking wrote it down yesterday. God, this sucks. Anyway, two. The guy's name is two. Oh, wait. Hold on. Maybe I got it right here. Sorry, guys. Two. I don't see it. Oh man, that fucking sucks. You know? Because I really want to make sure. Um, God, I mean, weird. Anyway, so it was Whitford Crane. Now, look, I am not knocking Whitford Crane. I've seen him sing in these cover bands. Um, but I'm not quite sure why Whitford Crane gets invited to such a monumental. Now, maybe Sharon managed his band years ago. I don't know, but Whitford Crane did the classic kind of rookie thing, like insecure. Like, I know a lot of you don't remember me or you don't know who I am. He's out there like, come on, put your hands together. Come on, let me hear you. Over the beginning of it, it was like boom, 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 and he's like, come on. And then this drummer, too, was I don't know what song he was playing, but he was not playing Believer. Now, I don't know if he'd never heard Believer or he heard it backstage and said, I'll go up. He's wearing a mask. He looks like, he came out of King Tut's tomb. He's got like a mask with chains. Like, remember when Prince was wearing that chain thing? It was kind of a spin of that. And he was playing, he's not even playing the beat of Believer. He's just like, and I think he was like, I'll show these guys, Chad Smith and Travis Barker and Dana Carey, I'll show them. And you could see the band's just trying to groove, but there's zero groove. And then Whitford's going, come on, put it up. Let me see your hands. Ah! And I was like, I was embarrassed. I was like, man, if I'm going to be on TV in front of a zillion people and they go, hey, Dean, you want to sing Believer? I know a lot of people don't know who you are. Now, look, I know Whitford. A lot of people know who he is, but he's not fucking Steven Tyler, who fucking came out, or Ron Wood, or, these giant celebrity guests. So if you're gonna come out, fucking slay it. Lay it down. Lay it fucking down. At least hold your own and walk off so people go like, fuck, man, I never heard of that Dean Delray guy. He nailed it. I even feel a little bad trashing it, but it was bad. It was bad, okay? And then the complete opposite of bad was Changes with another guy I'd never heard of, Youngblood, who fucking came out and basically destroyed with this vocal on Changes. Never heard of him. I guess he was on TV, a couple TV shows in the UK. He's done some records. And he's got shitloads of spins and 2.1 million followers. Like I said, I can't know everybody. I try to constantly find new music, but he was like almost at a level of Freddie Mercury with the vocal from Live Aid. It was like the entire place was like, who the fuck is this? Yeah, who is this? This is amazing. And that fucking guy wiped the floor with everyone on the first all-star group. Next up is Alice in Chains, killed it with Man in the Box. It was great to see Sean Kinney back on the drums after having a health scare. And of course, these guys, all the whole band is great friends of mine. Absolutely one of the greatest bands of all time. And to see them rock Man in the Box, Wood, and then do Fairies Wear Boots, there is basically no Seattle music without Black Sabbath. That is 100% the truth. There is no Soundgarden. There is no uh down in a hole. There is no rain when I die. There's no Alice in Chains without Black Sabbath. There is 100% no doubt about that. Great to see them. And of course, Mike Inez, a key player in all of the jams. And personally, Ozzy selected him to be the bass player in the Ozzy solo set because he had been such a great vibe for Ozzy all those years. And I will tell you this right now, when I do the Bon Scott Bash each year, Mike Inez is one of those guys you call up and go, hey, dude, so we're going to do this. He goes, yeah, man, let's do it. It's going to kick ass. It's going to kick so much ass. I can't wait. I'm going to go down and get my bass rig that Mike Anthony sold me. We're going to kill it, man. We're going to have tacos. Is Bill going to be there? This is going to be great. This guy is what you want in a band member times 1,000. He is just a fucking great human. Then they did a drum off, whatever. That's some fun shit. Give people a rest, a little drum off with Barker, Chad Smith, Dana Carey. And that was fun. Supergroup 2 came out, Breaking the Law, KK Downing. When you see KK Downing destroy Breaking the Law, you immediately go, how is he not in Priest? No matter if you have fucking hate for each other, you've sued each other, you've, moved on. No, man. Everybody's coming towards the end of their lives. Get that man back in the band and let him play Sinner on that flying V with the full on just tremolo whammy solo. Oh my God. KK Downing, Billy Corgan, who I've never been a fan of his vocals, rocked Breaking the Law. Snowblind, Billy Corgan again, great song. Flying High Again, Sammy Hagar, did not make sense to me. I'm a big Hagar, early Hagar fan, but it seemed like that was kind of thrown together. A little Hagar on the vocals. And Vernon Reed, they didn't even let Vernon Reed, I think, play a lead. It was Nuno who destroyed and killed the Flying High again. But believe me, Vernon Reed can play the shit out of the guitar. Rock Candy, Sammy Hagar. Now we're talking. Bark at the Moon with Papa from Ghost. Great singer. Bark at the Moon was cool. I love Bark at the Moon. Of course, no Phil Soussan, who co-wrote that song, which was interesting that he wasn't there, of course. Train kept a rolling. This was the biggest surprise of the entire uh, back to the beginning. Steven Tyler came out, who I've been seeing over the last 6, 7 months. And man, did he fucking crush it. Train kept rolling, walked this way, whole lot of love. Unbelievable what this guy is doing. He is slowly coming back. His vocals are fantastic. He sounds better than 99% of the singers his age. And that's only in his mind 50% of his vocals. And I'm like, no way. This guy is unbelievable. He looks great. He is action packed on stage. He is a true fucking rock star. He is a 55-year in the business, something like that, killer. And God, I hope they get to do it one more time. I think so. Maybe once a week somewhere, once a week in Vegas, something. Pantera came up. Cowboys from Hell, Walk, Planet Caravan, which they covered, Electric Funeral. And people are loving this Pantera reunion with the two guys and Rex and Phil. And the crowd dug them. Then my favorite, Tool, popped on. 46 and 2 sounded unreal. The first time you could see Tool with lights on. Tool, when they play, you don't even see the guys. So it was great to see Maynard again. Back in the early days of Tool, I would see Maynard front row in his full gummo, weird mullet, with his fucking weird dances and moves, and you know, just just something I've never forgot. Seeing him on the Undertow and the Opiate EP, just that weird fucking playing. Take that fucking whistle, just crazy. So it was great to see them straight off the stage in the light. And wow, man, they're just so good. When I watch this festival, I realize the bands that have been touring, Tool and Pantera and Metallica, they are the true slayers because they've been out and Rival Sons, they've been out and they've been doing it. They haven't been sitting around. Tool, but I'll tell you who fucking lit my face on fire was Slayer. Now, of course, I love Slayer. And of course, they're always amazing. But they've taken some years off and now they're doing some festivals here and there. But their set, and I was thinking maybe this is the future of concerts. Everybody just plays five songs and you don't have to deal with people with their faces in their phone because they're going to see five of their favorite songs and it wipes the ADD out of concerts. But Slayer came on, played Disciple, War Ensemble, Into Wicked World, which is one of my favorite Sabbath songs, into South of Heaven, back into Wicked World, into Rain and Blood, into Angel of Death. Could be one of the greatest sets I've seen in years. Straight goosebumps right now. And that is no bullshit. I'm thinking about it right now. And I was like, I can't even believe what I just fucking saw. Tom's vocals sound unbelievable from taking all that time off. Sometimes you lose it or sometimes you get it back. But I could not believe how great he was. And then the guitars were just fucking scorching Gary Holt. Gary Holt! Gary Holt! Unbelievable. Uh, and then GNR played, and you cannot, these days you cannot see GNR without people going crazy on are the vocals good or they bad. It's like, if you don't like it, don't go. If you like it, be happy they're still out touring. That's all I can say about that. It's between GNR and Metallica. Metallica comes on, it's the same old bullshit. Lars can't play. Fucking Lars, like, shut up. Fucking guy rocked it, man. He's been on tour for 2 fucking years and just metal coming out with Hole in the Sky, one of the greatest Sabbath songs ever. Into Creeping Death, Bell Tolls, Johnny Blade, unbelievable, Battery Masters. These guys are the all-time greatest metal band for me. Metallica, hands down, no one. Slayer smoked it. And I still, Metallica, it doesn't matter how many times I hear Master of Puppets or Battery, or fucking Blackened. I mean, every time it comes on Ozzy's Boneyard, I turn that shit up and fucking smile and go, that is some Bay Area metal right there. Slayer, Metallica, that's the ultimate tour right there. Ozzy came out in the black chair, came up, it had like a bat on it. And he kicked into an incredible set. I don't know, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution, Mama, I'm Coming Home, Crazy Train. That was way more songs than I thought he was going to do. And then Sabbath came out. They did War Pigs, NIB, Iron Man, and Paranoid, which, by the way, NIB is one of the best of all time metal songs. It is so fucking great. And that was it. That is the end there, the back to the beginning. There was hugs, there was tears, there was fucking celebrations, there were engagements. There were Bay Area fucking legends there. I even saw Joe Coy on the feed, comedian Joe Coy and his son right behind Slayer. I took a picture of the screen and sent it to him. Joe Coy there. That was fucking cool to see him. Anyway, great, great, great day and a sad day. A very sad day. And, as I get older, 59, going to be 60, I realize, these guys have been in most of my life. I would say since, I don't know, sixth grade. Sabbath, Kiss, AC/DC, um, Ted Nugent. These people, junior high, exchanging cassette tapes and vinyl and sleeping in lines out in front of a record store to get tickets. And then seeing the great Ozzy ups and downs, comebacks, gones, breakups, everything. The guy is a soldier battling illness, all of Sabbath battling illness and still coming out. I feel right now that Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, which I want to say fucking two soldiers of metal and two of the most amazing players ever. They were killing it. Geezer with the fucking bass runs and the tone. Geezer, I mean, listen to Tool and then listen to Geezer. You're like, oh yeah, well, hello. Listen to Alice in Chains, listen to Geezer, and listen to Tony Iommi. Unbelievable. Tony with the SG and the fucking just unreal. Just thank you is all I can say. Thank you for the incredible metal and the metal that you have influenced that has meant the world to me also, meaning Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Melvins and all of this stuff that just smokes my face, Tool. Thank you. There it is. And you can see it. It's all over the internet. You can definitely see that stuff right now on YouTube. Couple more things before I get out of here. I do want to give a rest in peace to one of the greatest hotels in San Francisco. I just heard it's closing, the Phoenix Hotel, and it is a really monumental hotel in San Francisco that a million bands have stayed at. They welcomed bands, knowing bands are lunatics. They had a pool that was designed by Andy Warhol. It was right there in the Tenderloin, and it had a restaurant hooked onto it that I still think Pearl Jam got their name from, called Mrs. Pearl's Jam House. I stayed there many, many, many times. It was kind of one of those party hotels like the Riot House on Sunset Strip, but much smaller. And it's going away, and this is a big bummer. And the older you get, the more that things go away. And hopefully, people younger than me get iconic stuff that they fall in love with. But the Phoenix Hotel is really a legendary hotel. Patreon, new Patreoner Cam has joined up. Thank you, Cam, for joining my Patreon. There is over 170 or something episodes, bonus episodes on my Patreon. And believe me, every nickel helps this podcast. I don't have any advertisements. Also, I will be moving the Dark Fonzies over to Patreon. I have taken them off the streaming. They should be gone by this week off there. And they will only be available on the Patreon, just because I was paying for years to have them hosted on the internet, and it was time to just move them over to Patreon and have them there. Patreon.com/Dean Delray. What else we got here? Maiden. Maiden's out touring. Would have been great to see Maiden at that fucking thing, but we know that Maiden had the battles with Sharon Osbourne back on that Ozfest years ago where they threw eggs at him and stuff and fucked with their sound, allegedly. And it would have been great to see Maiden there. but they were not there. But they are out touring right now. The set list is insane. I've said it before. And the drummer, the fill-in drummer, has just a little kit now, and it kind of reminds me of early Maiden. It's really fucking cool to see just like a five-piece up there. Wild. And then I'm watching it, and Dave Murray and Adrian Smith are unbelievable on guitar right now at their age still. And Dave Murray is playing that old Ibanez Destroyer too, which I fucking love, man, from the Number of the Beast era. So looking forward to seeing Maiden and Bruce Dickinson looking like the full-on Number of the Beast tour Dickinson, long hair, and he's wearing just a leather jacket. He's not wearing like a fucking Pirates of the Caribbean outfit. He doesn't have any swords or fucking berets or any shit. He's just got a leather jacket and jeans, and I'm going, man, this fucking Maiden looks unbelievable for the 50th anniversary. Looking forward to seeing that. We lost a couple big people last week. Mick Ralphs, Bad Company, rest in peace. Talk about a fucking legend. I mean, a full-on legend right there. Bad Company, just unreal, unreal. The songs and the magnitude of Bad Company in the 70s, man. That is a 70s band. Bad Company, Boston. These are 70s bands. And Mick Ralphs, we lost him. We also lost Michael Madsen. A couple days ago, he died, I believe, a heart attack in his sleep. I had done a film with Michael Madsen about, I don't know, 18 years ago. I talked about it not too long ago on Patreon. It was Hell Ride, Quentin Tarantino's Hell Ride. And I spent about 3 weeks on the set with him. And Michael Madsen, I'm stunned that he lasted as long as he did. The guy lived it hard. The guy lived it hard. And God, so young, man. I think he was 68. I just think about that. I go, God, 68. I'm going to be 60. Fuck. So yeah, two, two legends gone. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I hope to see you on the road. I will be in Alaska this week. I hope you enjoyed my little rundown here. I cannot wait to see fucking Oasis. And once again, congrats to Oasis on, proving these fuckers wrong. You're out there killing it. You look great. You sound great. You guys are true rock and roll stars. As for all you Delraisers, thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Go watch the special, 5836. Also, leave a review on Let There Be Talk on iTunes. Thank you. Candles are lit.